In the previous unit, you guys looked at how to create and conduct a controlled experiment, and how to identify and recognize variables, how to control them, how to manipulate them, and how to measure and graph them, how to draw conclusions from that. Well, really, science, that's an experimental procedure, but science starts with observations that leads to questions, things you're curious about, right? The reason to do science is to learn more, and the reason you want to learn more is because you see something you're curious about. And we say that we make observations when we use information, or our senses, to collect information. And observations are factual in nature. They're something that cannot be disputed. Everybody who observes it the same way. And these can be quantitative or qualitative. Now think about these words. A quality is a description. A quantity is an amount. So when we talk about qualitative versus quantitative, we're talking about descriptions versus numbers. Okay? So a qualitative observation describes qualities, and it uses descriptive adjectives like colors or textures. So blue eyes, a smooth apple, yellow stripe, black road, bumpy orange peel, whatever. Those are all descriptive adjectives that are describing qualities. Quantitative observations are based on countable or measurable quantities. A football field is 100 yards long. 100 yards is a quantity. So it's going to include numbers. It's also going to have units that give those numbers some kind of labels. So I have 2 eyes. I have 83 centimeter tall desk. Those are quantitative measurements. Now an inference is not an observation. It's based on an observation. An inference is based on logic, previous knowledge, and what you're observing. And an inference tries to explain what you see. And so we do a little bit of analysis. So when you're inferring, you're trying to figure out what's going on based on your observation and all the analysis that happens in your mind. And we do this without even thinking about it sometimes. Like, we look at something and we just explain what's going on. So if I look at this picture, it looks to me like this guy's getting arrested by 2 police officers. But I don't know for a fact that's what's happening. What I know for a fact, what I can actually observe, is there's 3 people in the picture. That's a quantitative observation because it gave me a number. I can see that one person is wearing a tie. There it is. And I can see that 2 people are wearing blue uniforms. I can see that. Those are facts. From those, and from their positions, I inferred that those 2 police officers were arresting that guy. But I don't even know that they're police officers. I'm inferring that because I know that people who wear blue uniforms with little badges on them and carry all this stuff on their belts might be police officers. For all I know, this is the scene of a movie that somebody's taking a picture at. I'm assuming that the person in the middle did something wrong. That's why you get arrested. But again, that's an inference. People in the uniforms are law enforcement officers. Again, don't know that for sure. And the person in the middle is being kidnapped. That's probably not what we think. We probably think he's being arrested. But both of those could be true based on just the facts that we have. Now, based on our background knowledge, we can probably say this one probably isn't. But unless we can actually go gather more information, we don't know for sure.